Dealerships are at an inflection point. Despite tariffs being put into effect in May, with the most recent changes being implemented earlier this month, you'd think automotive demand would absolutely crash. However, due to the fact that automakers aren't raising prices, demand has stayed quite high. In fact, inventory is down from 2.83 million last month to 2.63 million this month, and average day supply is down from 82 days to 73 days. However, that doesn't mean that all automakers are selling well, and there are some automakers that have empty lots while others have inventory piling up. Let's first talk about Land Rover. As we see here today, Land Rover has the second highest inventory of any other automaker in the car market, only behind Jaguar, which is under the same umbrella as Land Rover. And Land Rover has a supply of 130 days, which is nearly twice as much as the average day supply of the entire car market. Now, Land Rover, like many automakers, have had a significant hit from tariffs. In fact, their quarterly profit fell by 49% and their sales declined by 11%. And while this new trade deal will help lower the impact of tariffs, it's not going to negate the real problem at hand, which is high prices and poor reliability. But despite this insane inventory situation, every single car in this lot, with the exception of some over here, is a Land Rover vehicle. But despite this, these cars are still having dealership markups. Like this car right here, which is priced at $74,590, but this dealership has priced an $899 dealer markup, which includes things like nitro-fill tire, complimentary car wash, as well as a service loaner, which are things that are either complete BS or honestly things that should be included in a new car regardless. This row right here is a bunch of Defenders, and these all have $899 dealer markups as well, with those same BS items. Again, ceramic coatings, window film, nitro fill, complimentary car wash, and a service loaner. Or this Defender right here, which has that $899 markup, but they also have black fixed running boards, which cost $3,995. And I don't know about you guys, but I think it's hard to justify these as a nearly $4,000 cost. This video probably isn't even going to do it justice, but the amount of Land Rovers that are available for sale at this location is absolutely insane. In fact, we're at the back of the dealership, so we're not even at the front, and they just have tons and tons of new ones for sale. But the fact that all of these have dealership markups is not only completely insane, it is completely unacceptable, and it is exactly what is wrong with current dealerships. Now, believe it or not, price isn't the only factor at play here whenever we look at automakers that are seeing inventory piling up versus ones with empty lots. Because while some automakers, like Land Rover, for example, are seeing their dealership lots filled to the brim, others, like BMW, are seeing low inventory. In fact, BMW currently has 68 days of inventory, which is not only below average, but is also the fourth lowest inventory for any other automaker in the car market. Now, last quarter, BMW did see their sales decline, but only by 0.4%. Though BMW is one of the few automakers out there that has announced price increases due to tariffs specifically. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have Ram. And whenever I say opposite, I really mean opposite. Ram is one of the big three US automakers. They aren't exactly luxury, and they have inventory piling up. In fact, Ram has the second highest inventory levels of any other automaker in the car market, with a 121-day supply, which is significantly larger than the average day supply of 73 days. And while that's a major improvement from where Ram has been over the last couple of years, it still isn't great, and there's no wonder why. For example, we have this Ram 1500 SST.
SST for silly, stupid truck.
Hopefully you can see, but this tint is quite dark, but this car is $58,355. And whenever you take a look at the interior, it's cloth interior. This is a higher trim model 1500. This one is priced at $61,770. And it also has cloth interior. One trend that we've seen in the car market over the last couple of years, I just simply cannot get over, is seeing cars in the $50,000, $60,000, sometimes even $70,000 range that have cloth interior. You see it with Ram, you see it with Toyota, and it is completely unacceptable. Now, we wouldn't have a dealership video if we didn't talk about Toyota. Now, Toyota is an interesting one, but not in a good way. As we sit here today, Toyota has by far the lowest amount of inventory of any other automaker, with only 32 days. That is far below the industry average of 73 days. However, the reasons for this are actually much different than what you might think. It's not because there is so much demand that Toyotas are flying off dealership lots, so much so that the automaker can't keep up. It's actually a much different situation. You see, over the last couple of years, Toyota has been keeping inventory artificially low. This isn't due to production issues or increased demand, but it's a deliberate choice that Toyota has made. On top of that, Toyota has raised prices with some of their most popular cars now costing an arm and a leg. And if that wasn't bad enough, Toyota dealerships across the country are still charging massive markups on their cars because of the fact that on the surface they have an inventory problem, but if you dig deeper, you know that that's not the case. Like this Tundra right here, which has a $2,500 dealer markup. And you can see here that this car is priced at $77,096 after the markup is applied, which in this car market is completely unacceptable. Now, I am firmly in the camp that in the case of Toyota, there is almost a level of deception here because of the fact that whenever you look at their dealership, you can see that they do not have a ton of inventory. And I know I've mentioned this in past videos, but this Toyota dealership that I'm at is the one that's right next to North American headquarters for Toyota. So you would expect for this dealership, which is literally a stone's throw away from their headquarters, you would think that this would have the creme de la creme of inventory, but that just isn't the case. And so whenever somebody comes here because they want to buy a new car, they may be told by the salesman, well, there's a dealership markup because we just don't have the inventory. But that inventory problem and the empty dealership lot is completely Toyota made, and I strongly believe that it's a method to be able to charge more for the same car. Like right here, we have a 6th generation Toyota 4Runner, but what would you say if I told you that this was one of the only 6th generation 4Runners on this entire lot? Now, I get that this is a new, hotter vehicle, but we are heading into 2026, and 2026 year model cars are making up more and more of dealership lots, and yet this is a 2025 model. And not only does Toyota have a dealership market problem, but they have a premium price problem as well. This car right here is priced at $56,827, and it's cloth interior. We have this Tacoma right here, this Tacoma, and that Tacoma, all with dealer markup. And as I've mentioned multiple times, not only in this video, but any video I've featured at this dealership, the selection here just sucks. There's one 4Runner, there's one Land Cruiser, there's one Sequoia, which you can find here. And the pride and joy of this specific dealership is an old 5th gen 4Runner. This is just completely unacceptable, and this inventory situation paired to just Toyota high prices, it is giving Toyota a bad name. It pains me to say this, but Toyota represents everything that's wrong with the modern car market, modern automakers, and dealerships. Higher car prices, dealership markups, and greed. But despite this, not all is bad in the current car market. While new car prices did increase slightly to $48,841, incentives also increased to 7.3%. But still, most automakers are seeing above average supply. Like always, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, if you have anything to add, I would love to hear it. So make sure to leave a comment down below. And while you guys are at it, make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video.